I had been at a breaking point for months. My marriage with Sarah had slowly, painfully unraveled. Every argument felt like deja vu. Every apology sounded empty, every promise meaningless. I had already made up my mind. Divorce felt inevitable. The idea of signing papers, walking away, and starting over alone brought a strange mix of relief and dread. I had convinced myself there was nothing left to save, that the years we shared were already gone. It was a Saturday evening when I found myself sitting in the living room, pretending to scroll through my phone while Sarah hosted a small gathering of friends. I hadn't planned to eavesdrop, but the sound of laughter pulled my attention. I froze when I heard her voice, unmistakable and full of genuine amusement. Curious despite myself, I leaned slightly toward the doorway, careful not to give myself away. She was laughing freely, openly. It wasn't polite or forced. It was the kind of laughter that comes from being relaxed and unguarded. My chest tightened when I realized I was hearing something personal, something not meant for me. Then her words made it tighten even more. "He really thinks he notices everything I do," Sarah said, giggling as she tossed her hair back. "It's kind of adorable. He tries so hard to stay calm and in control, but he has no idea I run this whole show." Her friends burst into laughter, and for a moment, embarrassment and anger stabbed through me. My thoughts raced with disbelief and betrayal. Had I been wrong about everything? But then she continued, her tone shifting, playful, but not cruel. "And the funny part is, he's more focused on keeping me happy than I ever realized. He notices the little things, things I didn't even think mattered." My ears perked up. My chest tightened again, but this time differently. There was admiration in her voice, even a hint of awe. The story I had been telling myself about her feelings, about us, began to crack. I leaned into the doorway, listening as she described moments I never knew she noticed. The way I always remembered her favorite wine. The nights I stayed up just to make sure she got home safely. The quiet gestures I made simply because I cared. Every word contradicted what I thought I knew. She wasn't dismissive, indifferent, or manipulative. She sounded grateful, amused, and deeply affectionate in ways I hadn't recognized. Her friends laughed at her teasing, but there was warmth in her voice, a softness I hadn't heard in months. She wasn't mocking me. She was marveling at my patience, my devotion, my presence. My anger slowly dissolved, replaced by disbelief and an unexpected sense of relief. I had assumed she resented me, that she was bored or emotionally distant. But her words revealed a depth I had completely missed. I thought about the small sacrifices I'd made, the patience I'd offered, and realized she had noticed all of it. She saw me, truly saw me, in ways I hadn't allowed myself to believe. Regret washed over me for the assumptions I'd made, for the decisions I was close to finalizing without truly understanding her heart. I stepped closer, still careful not to interrupt, letting every word sink in. Sarah's laughter filled the room again, this time carrying a contentment that reached me. She wasn't mocking our marriage. She was celebrating it in her own way, pointing out my flaws and strengths with affection. With every sentence, my certainty about divorce weakened. As her friends continued teasing, I heard how she subtly defended me, highlighting the small things she appreciated. I realized then how wrong I had been. The distance I felt wasn't entirely her doing. I had stopped recognizing the love she expressed quietly, mistaking it for indifference when it never was. I sank into the couch and released a slow breath. The anger, the resentment, the hurt all began to fade. What I had mistaken for indifference was actually admiration and affection. My perspective shifted completely. I wasn't seeing flaws anymore. I was finally seeing the love that had been quietly there all along, hidden in laughter and playful words. When the party ended, I approached her gently. "Sarah," I said, my voice calm but heavy with emotion, "I overheard what you were saying." She froze, eyes wide, a nervous smile forming on her lips. I went on. I think I've been wrong about a lot of things. About us. Her expression softened instantly. Relief, understanding, and a flicker of hope filled her eyes. Really? She whispered. You heard all that? I nodded and sat beside her, feeling a connection I hadn't felt in months. The laughter, the teasing, the warmth I had overheard had become a bridge across the distance that had grown between us. We talked for hours that night about misunderstandings, assumptions, and the words we never said. For the first time in months, we truly listened to each other. The walls I believed were impossible to break began to fall, replaced by honesty, clarity, and the realization that our love had never truly disappeared. By the end of the night, I knew something had changed. The anger and frustration that once pushed me toward divorce were replaced with renewed understanding. I had been ready to walk away, but overhearing her laughter and her words revealed the truth. Love had been there all along, and I had been blind to it. From that moment, our relationship shifted. The laughter, the teasing, the quiet moments of appreciation became reminders of what we nearly lost. It was a wake-up call. Love often hides in the details, in shared laughter, and in words spoken softly among friends. I realized that divorce had almost taken away something beautiful, something truly worth fighting for.